Hey everybody, today we have a rescue Oscar brought to us by a nice peer from Estero, Florida, here local to us next to Naples. That's a she, we think. We're gonna verify it, but to me it also looks like a she. She doesn't have the papilla, genital papilla, as males do, and the anal fin does not overlap with the tail fin too much. Right now she's all dramatic because we just finished acclimation in this bucket and we're ready to put her in the new tank to join the other Oscars. So this was brought to us by Savannah and her father.
Hello.
How long have you had her, Savannah?
I'm correct, it's just over 2 years now. I purchased her from one of my local fish stores, and she was about yay big, and I started her off in a 30-gallon, and first year of her life it was in that, and then she got bigger, and I could notice she was a little not swimming around as much, so I said time for a 55-gallon, and she's been in that for the last year, and obviously at the age I am now, unfortunately, I know I'm going to be moving out of my parents' house, so I don't want to be stressing her out too much and moving her around, so this is the best option to put her in a good, safe environment. In a big tank with friends and healthy water and 24/7 care.
Thank you. We'll try our best. Would you be my operator?
Yes, of course.
This is too big. So her nickname is Cheeto, right?
Yes, Cheeto.
You see the colors on the rock.
Yeah, she's gonna join two of her brethren. I will immediately think.
Splash zone.
Easy. We'll immediately try to dominate her and show her who they're the bosses. What kind is she?
Albino tiger oscar.
Albino tiger, yes, okay. So she doesn't have melanin pigment, but she retains keratin pigment or astaxanthin, whatever that pigment is, orange and red.
Yes. We're looking like anything up.
Yeah, they're already puffing up and like, what is that? Yeah, you both are very intimidating.
She's being strong.
It'll go on for a while. Hopefully they don't bite her. That's the only thing I don't want it to happen. After they figure it out, everything should be fine. Yeah, I might need to break it up just a little. You can go there. There's a lot more space there.
They're so funny with big open mouths.
Yep.
Now she's separated.
They probably think that's their corner.
Yeah, that's their corner, yeah.
That's their corner.
Yeah, they're claiming it.
She is.
Alright.
So much room.
She just needs a little bit of time to recover and get her mood back of being an independent, strong fish.
That's
not
true.
scared of anything.
Right, she's been by herself for a while.
Yep. And then she'll be just
Yeah,
fine.
the last 6 months I'd say she's been by herself. She's only had a catfish with her, a synodontis.
Okay.
And he was actually really mean to her. There's one lava rock in her tank that's kind of holding down some of the fake plants, and I think she totally brushed her side up against it. She had a really big white gash on her side, and I fixed it with what's that stuff called? It's like it was this blue stuff that I was putting in her tank.
That's Rid X?
No, it wasn't Rid X. It was something that was just to help promote healing.
Methylene blue?
Yes, it was that, but it was whatever name it was, and
Look at that, she's not in there.
unfortunately,
Malafix, Pimafix also have it, but they're not blue. They're yellowish.
I can't remember the name. But the catfish would not leave the little gap, like the gash alone.
Oh,
He would just swim up to it and nibble on it. And for weeks it would not get better, so I was like, okay, I need to remove this catfish. And finally I removed the catfish in 2 weeks.
Gotcha.
With the stuff
Yeah,
I was
catfish was acting parasitic.
Yes.
It was trying to take advantage of the wound.
Exactly. Oh.
You got a heck of a current in that tank too, doesn't it?
It has to be. There's a heavy load in there.
Yeah.
A lot of fish. That's 12,000 gallons an hour, and the tank is 1,800.
Cheeto stands out.
Chances are she'll be fine. We had even smaller Oscars in there. Again, we had like a dozen about a year ago. There was a dozen and a half in there before we adopted them all out one by one. And then Rodrigo from Predatory Fins, he bought a whole bunch of them and took care of them, so that helped.
It was Sechem stress guard.
Sechem stress, okay, gotcha.
That's what I was using, and it healed it so fast.
Okay.
Once I removed the catfish and started using that.
It's good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, she's very good.
Sechem will never tell you what's in it. I mean, they will tell you something, but it's not an entire story.
Yeah.
They guard their know-hows.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a little introductory story of our new edition Cheeto, the Oscar or oscaress.
There you go.
She's learning her boundaries. She bumped into the glass, did she?
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
She'll get the routine. I'm sure there's a flow around the tank.
She's getting, yeah.
It's one way, it goes all the way around and it makes a loop. So it's
Gotcha.
a circular current.
Oh my gosh. That's not what I wanted. You're not swallowed anymore, sweetheart.
Yeah, you have the big fish in the pond now.
I bet she'll grow a lot faster.
Think so?
Over the workout.
In 2 years, that should be an adult. That should be pretty much full size. But yeah, she'll probably add another inch or two easily. Yeah, I think. I wouldn't expect more.
Yeah, she'll get a lot more workout in this tank.
She's about 10 inches right now.
10 inches?
I think so. Yeah.
She's as big as the bucket.
Oh
The
my
bucket
gosh.
bottom. The bucket bottom is 10 inches wide. The diameter.
Yep.
So I thought she was only like 6 inches long.
No.
Deceiving in the glass.
It's very deceiving in
Yeah.
the water.
She's about 10 inches. Maybe another inch or two is quite possible.
Gotcha. Alright.
Well, I know it's emotional for Savannah, and we're gonna let her say her goodbye, and I'm sure she learned her lesson, right?
Yes.
You gotta
Yeah.
try your best
Stick
to
to my betas also.
stick to the fish that you can keep for
Stick to my
good.
betas.
Yes, until you're more settled and have the right capabilities. But it's okay. I mean, I've done it a gazillion times. This misjudgment myself. So we're not to judge. We're all for educating and learning here.
That's right.
Yeah, I had African cichlids before this, and Tanganyika, and so I was like, oh yeah, she'll be fine. Forgetting that Oscars grow up to over 12 inches.
Yep, they can. All right, guys. Thank you for watching as always. The process of breeding is going on. This is about half an hour later. The two big boys are pushing Cheeto around. She's still a little too stressed to answer back, but there is no biting and there is no damage. And she easily gets away, and they're not pursuing her, like being on her all the time. So that should be okay. Just opening the mouth and charging. my experience, this will, by the end of the day, they will be best buddies. They'll swim together actually, all three of them. It'll turn around 180. This is about, I don't know, 10 hours later. The harassment pretty much stopped a while ago. So Cheeto is doing okay. Exploring her new tank and getting used to it. And the two knuckleheads are back in their corner.